Okay, most people will forget what they learn, right? And they need to relearn again. Why? Because the curve of forgetting. So as you can see here, within a week, you see that this is the memory retention of something, right? Something that is new. The key is newly word. So another chart that I discovered is this. So as you can see, the first learning happened here. After 1 hour, without any review, it will drop to this. Okay, and then after 1 day, it drops somewhere here. So without review. Now, on the contrary, if you do review, and it goes up to here. If you read in the first hour, you retain almost 100%. And then, subsequently, 1 day later of the first learning, you do your review again, then it brings up again one more time to 100%. If you do this on the 1 week later, right, it will retain here. And then this will goes into permanent. Right? So you can mostly you can keep it for this new learning, for this new learning. So as you can see here, the first learning is somewhere here. Learning will be forgotten rapidly in the short term without review intervention. And then the 1 hour, if you do a review, learning is refreshed and the rate at which is forgotten is reduced. This could be in the form of questioning during the lessons or acidic at the end, right? So during the lesson. So that's why engagement is such important. Review two is that uh, your learning is refreshed and then the rate is forgotten is reduced. Summarize key point from the last lesson, right? So right here. And then review three, right? This review should fit into the rolling cycles of the periodic review to refresh the learning over time. Okay, so regular recall and retrieval practice. That's the 1 week later. Okay, and so on, right? So if you want, you can do it on 1 month later. All right, so in our training, right, we focus on so much on this thing here, which is the DES, right? The simplest form is this. That means that the trainer demonstrate a skill, and then the participant exercise, do the exercise, and then they will do a sharing. So this is very efficient because of it will provide the opportunity for them to do review. Right, within an hour, they can do a review. Now, if you want it to be even more effective, right, it will be uh, around here, right? So 15 minutes, for example, Power BI training, right? So we can say 15 minutes, and after the 5 minute exercise, and 5 minutes for another sharing, recap, or do their own remarks, and then take a break. But why take a break? Well, that's because that you have something called the ultradian performance. So you can see that after the 90 minutes, oh, they got to recover. So we have this here as well, right? So the training, right? So you see that there's a practice and on the spot. If you do that good, now 1 day later, we should do a review of self practice by our own. So what does that mean, right? Now, for example, yesterday I first learned about BYROW. Lambda, I learned last week, but do I remember that much? Well, let's take a look at just now the chart, right? After 1 week, okay, after 1 week. So if I do this review and I have routine somewhere here, but guess what, right? I almost forgot most of them, right? So that's why I created the Excel Ninja for my guide, right? It's to help myself and by thereby if it's helped me it could be helping others as well, right? So that's why I created this uh well at a glance, right? I can take a look at, oh, lambda. What's lambda? Oh, lambda is like this. So we have parameters, calculations, value. Now this is not my first time learning lambda anymore, right? So this is my the third time and so on. So, and I also give myself a very simple example, right? So A and B. Ah, I see. So there are parameters, there are calculations, and their value. Okay, and then there's again second, right? Okay, great. So it's a very quick way after I first learning this Excel Ninja formula guide, right? Will become very handy for me and for my student. Um, and then we have this here and then here. So now let's take a look at what I learned yesterday is called BYROW. Okay, so BYROW, I have this. I got BYROW, so I put in the input range and then I put that lambda inside here. All right, and best way to do that is that we do again, right? So let's just see here, right? So BYROW, okay. So since I learned it yesterday, so I can still vividly remember that, right? So that's BYROW. So something to do with analyze by each row, right? So now, but what do I want there to analyze? So I can do simple things as a certain function, right? So let's say sum, right? Can I just sum, um, like I mean like this, right? So it says cannot, right? Right, because the Pyro want to work together with lambda. So now, well, my idea is actually to sum every row, right? Sum every row. Well, of course, I can use the simple way like SUM sum, and I just highlight this here and enter, and then double click, right? So click and then double click, right? I can also do something called this lambda, okay, and then I say that the parameter I assign a value called r. So that's r represent the whole row itself, and then comma, and then I have the sum, and then r, and then well, just undo it, right? So you can see that here, okay, and enter, and I got this number here. So okay, so that is lambda, right? So I just enter once and then enter all. So actually, there's not much difference between sum and this here, right? So what must as well I just use a sum, right? But why do I use BYROWs and lambda, right? Well, that's because that with BYROWs and lambda, you can change this function here as uh, as many as you want, right? So there are many things you can do with this. So this is the operation. You can change any. For this, it is fixed always will be sum, right? It's not so dynamic. It's not so flexible. Okay, and so let's say I want to change it to average. Let's say I go for average, right? Average. Let's change it to average. Okay, I can just go for average and enter and look at that. Just one enter. But if I go here and I type average, average, right? Let's just enter. This one done, but I still need to double click here to go down, right? So it saves some time. Um, that's just one way. So save some time. And the other thing is that you can do something that is not really ordinarily can do, right? So we explained this in the yesterday as lookup as well, right? You can see here. So I did a comparison just now as well because I also do a review, right, on my this. So let's just S lookup. You can see here S lookup, right? So basically what this S lookup do, right, is that I just look at S lookup and then I just say that look at this value here and then a comma. My lookup value is there, and I just select this here. I want to look at that. Is that which one the value is more than zero, right? More than zero, and then and now I return the array will be the same. And then I just put there if file. Oh, if not file, what do I want to put? Well, nothing here. Math calculations. Not that. Oh, we can take the. Now here is where I use the -1. Right, there's a search from the first -1. So you can see that -1 search last to the word. Right, so I just put there -1 and then close parentheses and enter. Oops. So something to do with C8. Looks like I don't have that value. C8. Alright. take a look at here. Yes, we're not looking at the A2, right? We just look at true type. Okay, so yeah, so we just look at which one will give me the first true, right, from the left, from the right to the left, right? So this is as lookup, and I can just enter this here. Okay, no big deal, right? I can use the X lookup. But here I use with the BYROWs. See what happened? BYROWs, and then here, and I'm done. Right? So let's just see here. Let's just do it again, right? So I mean, uh, BYROW. Okay, BYROW, and that's right here. Let's just select this item here, and then so, and then I just look at F lookup. No, cannot. I can use the lambda, and then that would be R. I can use the X also, okay, right? So then I use the X lookup, and I say true, and give me X for that row. Is greater than 0, and then X greater than me row 3, and 1. So alright, you can see that that will be for the egg and so on, right? So this you can do it one row at a time, and then you double click change it there. Yeah, you can do that, right? And now what if I say I want to look at anything that is more than 100? I just enter this here, and guess what? Yeah, I get 123, right? And then double click, and but there's no value here. 123, 103. As for here, let's just change it here to, let's say, 100. I'll just look at, okay, same case, same goes with here, right? And now watch this, right? Now what if say that this is no longer this here. I want to know the first uh, number bigger than this amount, right? So let's just put the hundreds, right? So I can see here. Now I can change this value, right, to refer to this cell here and enter. And then if I say 50, well, you can see that here. As for this here, if I change it to this value here, and does this value change here? No, because it only occurs by, you have to double click here. So it's not that dynamic, right? I want to change this value, and here I need to change accordingly. But this one, right, just change one, and then just change this value, and the rest will change. So this is one example that we were talking about, that how dynamic is that, right? So you change one value, and the formula will change all of that accordingly. This one's not. So this my thing, right? Why I do this thing, right? Because that it is only when I do a review after one day, I find a new usage. I find you see that here, one day later, refresh, not just only forgotten, right? It's actually that you find a new use, you find a deeper understanding of what you learned yesterday, right? So that is the value of a review, right, by yourself. And this is a very strategic way, right? You can see that here. I just demonstrate to you real, right? That's yesterday I learned the BYROW, and then today I do my review, my self practice, right? Self practice, and 1 week later, should I choose, right, I will do one more, and then I'll be good on that particular several things, right? So rather than I learned a 100 function on the day one, and then I don't do any practice, no practice on the spot. I just learn 100 things, and then the next day I do no review, and guess what? Zero knowledge, right? Zero, and that kind of training is ineffective. It's not effective, especially when you learn something that is new, right? Something is new. All right, and that is the reason the way we design this thing that importance. Okay, so as a trainer, I mean, where is it here already? Here, this one. Demonstrate, exercise, share on the spot. Then you can see here. Okay, can we do without that? Well, yeah. Well, if it's self-discipline enough, right? Yes, you can, right? If they know that they can do self-discipline, yet you need to uh, ask them to uh, block the block an hour, block 30 minutes after the first day of learning, right? Block first, right? So for them to review. So you can ask your employee when is the time they will do the review. Yeah, after the first day of learning. So it could be something like, well, I guess would be, we can use something like this here, right? So it's like, so yeah, this is multiple usage, right? So let's say here okay, for learning. Okay, so let's say I just do nothing here. Let's say that don't have this here. Okay, I'll just put that here. Okay, let's say everything you have here. Oh, how come? Oh, this is it, right? Okay, there's no. Okay, let's say you learn something from the 9 to the 5, right? So that is the first day of learning. Okay, now the second day you got to block somehow, sometime, or maybe you're gonna block like 7 to 8. So this is the time that you do your revision, right? Revision. So if you are training, then better you do revision here, and perhaps the Saturday you do another review on yourself, right? So then this value will retain. Otherwise, it's not that useful, right? Really not that useful. So that is the goal. The goal of this is actually of okay, how to retain new information you learn first time. Okay, so that is the 1 day training. That is the, so just name will do, right? So yeah, that's it. So this is just one example that I talk about here. Okay, copy this, and then so files I can just add one more, right? So there is one more. Okay, it is just this slide. Right click, paste it here. Okay, so first day learning, and then followed by review, right? Or I guess review here. Here suggested review. Review 15 to 30 minutes. Same goes with here. Just bigger here. Okay, so that schedule the time, block the time first, right? And then you can have this. So in between here, there's a rest time also, right? So same day here. So you got to rest. So this is rest. Okay. Yeah. So that's why we incorporate a review session, right? If it's a 2-day training, we got to incorporate a review session, and then the next will be that here. Okay, I guess this is much better. I'll just do. Yep, that's it. And this is how I can retain what I learned effectively. Right. Thank you for watching.